Robinhood Chain's biggest Launchpad shuts down after $12 million in fees. The largest token Launchpad on Robinhood Chain has shut down abruptly after collecting roughly $12 million in fees, according to a July 18th report from crypto outlet Coin Bureau. The closure removes the busiest deployment venue on a chain that Robinhood only recently positioned as its push into on-chain finance. Details on the wind down remain thin at the time of writing. The public signal is the fee total and the fact that the platform stopped operating without a long lead time for the projects and users relying on it. That gap between a headline number and an orderly exit is the part worth sitting with, a fee total that outran the exit plan. $12 million in fees is not a rounding error. It is the kind of revenue that signals real traffic, tokens getting deployed, buyers showing up, and a steady cut flowing to the operator on each launch. A Launchpad earning at that rate was, by any plain reading, the center of activity on Robinhood Chain. The uncomfortable part is the sequence, a venue that profitable, choosing to close, rather than being forced out by dead volume, points to something other than lack of demand. It could be regulatory caution, a team decision, a dispute, or a quiet pivot. Until the operator says more, the reason stays open. What is not open is the effect on anyone holding a token that launched there or counting on the platform's tooling to keep running. Launchpad risk is platform risk. Token launchpads sit at an awkward point in the stack. They collect fees like an exchange, but they carry none of an exchange's obligations to keep the lights on. There is no deposit insurance, no regulator-mandated wind-down process, and usually no contractual promise that the front end stays live next month. When one closes, the smart contracts it deployed may keep functioning on-chain, but the liquidity, the interface, and the ongoing support tied to the brand can vanish overnight. That dynamic is not unique to Robinhood Chain. It has played out on other chains where a single dominant launchpad became the de facto gateway for new tokens, then folded or drifted. The lesson each time is the same. Fee dominance measures how much money moved through a venue, not how committed the operator is to being there tomorrow. A busy launchpad and a durable one are different things, and users tend to learn the difference only after the exit. Robinhood Chain's timing problem. The shutdown lands while Robinhood is still building the case for its chain as serious infrastructure. Vlad Tenev has framed Robinhood Chain around tokenizing real-world assets, and the network's volume surge earlier this year was read by some as evidence the bet was working. A flagship launchpad going dark cuts against that narrative at an inconvenient moment. None of this means the chain itself is compromised. A launchpad is an application on top of a network, not the network. But perception matters for a young chain competing for developers and liquidity, and the biggest thing on it just closed is a hard headline to counter with a roadmap. The projects that launched through the venue now need clarity on migration, contract ownership, and whether any collected fees will be directed toward an orderly handoff. The read for users. For anyone who bought a token via the Launchpad, the immediate task is practical. Confirm whether the underlying contract is still live, where liquidity now sits, and whether the token can be moved or traded outside the closed interface. Self-custody helps here. Assets held in your own wallet rather than inside a platform's custody are not frozen when that platform's front end disappears, though liquidity can still evaporate if the operator was also the main market maker. The broader takeaway is older than this specific event. Counterparty risk does not only apply to exchanges and custodians. It applies to any intermediary that can stop serving you, including the launchpad that minted the token in the first place. A $12 million fee haul made this one look like a fixture right up until it wasn't.